Tonight, Cy Young Award winner Tim Lincecum meets former Cy Young Pedro Martinez. Two pitchers similar in size and stature who can be dazzling with their awesome talents. It's a matchup linking past and present dominance as Pedro Martinez and Tim Lincecum meet in the final game of the series next. One more night in Philadelphia. We're at Citizens Bank Park as the Giants and Phillies wrap up this three-game series. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. Well, the Giants lose a tough one on Tuesday. They come back behind Brad Penny last night for a win. Rubber match tonight. Rockies lost today. Big game tonight. Big game Tim on the hill.
Big game Tim on the hill. Going to try and nail things down for the Giants. And interesting start tonight because both starters are little guys with big arms. Tim Lincecum, of course, for the Giants, and he's going to take on his childhood idol, Pedro Martinez. So, Kai, this should be a very interesting game and a fun one to watch.
It will be fun. Benji Molina back in the lineup after 8 absent days. All right, when we come back, we will have the lineups in the first pitch right after this.
Giants baseball is brought to you by Corona. Kick back and relax with an ice cold Corona and lime. Relax responsibly. And by Chevron. No other gasoline has more cleaning power.
Back here at Citizens Bank Park as the Philadelphia Phillies have just taken the field as we get ready for the final game of this three-game series. Our game time weather is brought to you by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The admission-free boardwalk is open daily. 76 degrees. We have calm winds, humidity at 34%. It is a bit overcast, but it is a very, very comfortable night to finish up this series. Let's take a look at Bruce Bochy's lineup. A little different than the last two games. Both starters for the Phillies. The last two games have been lefties. Tonight a righty. It'll be Velez, Renteria, Sandoval. Welcome back Benji Molina into the lineup. Randy Wynn and then Juan Uribe. Last night a big night, 3 for 3 and a very long home run. Ishikawa 7th, Rowan 8th, Lincecum 9th.
Let's take a look at the Phillies defense. They'll have Ibanez, Victorino, and Wirth. That's your outfield. Rollins and Feliz. That's the left side of the infield. Utley and Howard on the right side. Carlos Ruiz will do the catching. It's the same lineup that the Phillies have thrown out there all 3 games. The only difference has been the pitcher. Tonight's arm is the arm of Pedro Martinez, the 37-year-old. Well, actually, he's in his 17th year at the big league level, and you can see what he has done in 4 starts. 2-0 on the year, 4.50. He signed in mid-July with the Phillies, and they had to get him in shape, and now he is set to help them as they make their run towards the playoffs. A classic 4-pitch pitcher, a fastball, curveball, slider, changeup, and that doesn't really tell you what he can do with the ball. It's magical at times because he can take every one of those pitches and he can add and subtract speed on all of them. An outstanding command of all of his stuff. Always has had about a 4-to-1 strikeout walk ratio and a very competitive man. I mean, you watch what he has done over his career and it's remarkable what he consistently has been able to bring to that little bump out there in the middle of the infield. And a lot of comparisons have been made with Tim Lincecum to this guy, and you see it in the way that they compete. And you know one thing, when you take an at bat off of Pedro Martinez, I mean, you're gonna feel him. He's gonna come at you. Same way Lincecum comes at guys.
There are 4 Giants in this lineup who have never faced Martinez, and Eugenio Velez is one of the 4. Had the night off last night. First pitch of the ball game is driven into right center field and hit well. Wirth looking up, out of here. 1 pitch, 1 run, 1-0 Giants.
Well, that doesn't happen very often. We're going to make that our forward quality drive of the game. Hey, Eugenio Velez just sent a wake-up call to the Giants dugout on a long home run. The first time we've seen a home run go to the right side of the field, and he's kind of turned the wind around. There's no carry to this part of the yard, and he earned this one. This is a big home run. Number 4 on the year for Velez. Our Ford quality drive of the game.
Here's Edgar Renteria, who looks at a strike. Renteria at 261. Bounces this one to Rollins. Rollins from deep in the hole throws him out. 1 out. And here's Pablo Sandoval. Martinez hasn't really pitched a lot of innings. He's had 2 starts that were range shortened starts. Consequently, only 16 innings, but that's the 4th home run that he's allowed. Sandoval, another one of those players in this lineup that have never faced Martinez before. First career win for former Giant Pat Mish. Mets beat the Rockies. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
Back-to-back changeups to open up the at-bat to Sandoval. I think at this point in his career, that is the best pitch that Pedro Martinez has.
Well, we saw a good one from Cole Hamels. We saw one last night from Jay Happ. One and 2 with Benji Molina to follow. Pokes it to left. A long run for Ibanez. Ibanez is not going to get there, and then it bounces down into that corner, and Sandoval with a double.
He went and got that thing. That wasn't a pitch that caught a whole lot of strike zone. In fact, the only side of the field that he could hit this ball on was to left field. That's how far away it was from him. Just poking. Gives you an idea how strong his hands are. Not a lot of lower body in that swing. One thing about Pedro Martinez, you know he's going to be around the plate.
So a start tonight for Benji Molina, hitting at 261. He has never had a lot of success against Martinez. He's only 2 for 19 in his career with 4 strikeouts. Off the plate to even the count. Benji Molina pinch hit in the 9th inning on Tuesday night and struck out. He did not see any activity last night. Molina fouls it back. He had a pretty good rip. 1 and 2. So it's 1 and 2 to Benji Molina with Sandoval at second and 1 out. Giants on the board on a Eugenio Velez home run. And that's off the mask of Ruiz.
91-mile-an-hour fastball. That's more than enough for him to be effective. With all that he can do with the ball and all the finesse that he can lay on a hitter, 90 miles an hour on the fastball is more than enough for this guy to frustrate you in that batter's box.
Another 1-2 pitch coming up to Molina, and it's high. 2 and 2.
There was a time back in the early 90s when Pedro Martinez was in Montreal. He was one of the scariest at bats in baseball because he had no problem throwing right through your ear hole in your helmet. He was very aggressive inside and an intimidating pitcher. Not many guys liked hitting off him.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And he got him.
Right up above the hands. He'll go inside, outside. He'll go up. He'll go down. He'll go back up. really has command of the strike zone and above or below the strike zone.
Here's Randy Wynn, who's had good success against Martinez over the years. 11 for 29 with 6 doubles. So Sandoval at second, 2 outs. Randy Wynn hitting .264. No balls and 1 strike. He played on Tuesday and went 0 for 3. And did not get into the game last night. Out of play, and it's now 0-2. The numbers that I just mentioned, 6 doubles. Up high, 1-2.
Plus ownage on a guy that's going to be a Hall of Famer someday. It's always an extra feather in your cap.
Indeed it is.
Someday when Martinez goes into the Hall of Fame, Randy Wynn's child will say, "Dad, how'd you hit against that guy?" And he could look down and say, "I raked him."
Pretty good. Just not in that at bat. And that ends the inning. Eugenio Velez sends one into the bleachers. It's bye-bye baby, and it's 1-0 Giants. Giants 1, Phillies nothing. Phillies coming up. And let's take a look at Charlie Manuel's lineup. It'll be Rollins, Victorino, Utley, and then Ryan Howard, who's had a couple of big flies against Lincecum. It'll be Worth, Ibanez. And the bottom 3, Phillies, Ruiz, Martinez.
Defensively, the Giants will set it up with Velez, Rowan, and Wynn. That's your outfield. Renteria, Sandoval on the left side. Uribe, Ishikawa on the right side. Benji Molina back in the squad doing the catching, and the gentleman he'll be putting the fingers down for, Tim Lincecum. Lincecum, 25 years old, and he's in his 3rd year at the big league level, making his 28th start of the year. 222 strikeouts. That leads baseball. 54 walks against those strikeouts. 4-to-1 strikeout walk ratio.
Uribe from the outfield grass. Nice play, 1 out.
Juan Uribe has been fantastic with a glove at second base, and he's playing good baseball right now.
Here's Victorino.
Victorino wearing the new helmet, the big helmet. Said he's wearing it because there's no hits in his other one.
Victorino 1 for 4 and scored the only run in the game on Tuesday, and then he took an 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts last night. Here he pops it to left. Velez, 2 outs.
Well, this is the Giants K-Zone game. That means for every strikeout recorded by Lincecum and the Giants tonight, you will receive $1 off any bleacher ticket for Lincecum's next start. It'll be Tuesday, September 8th. That's when the Giants take on the San Diego Padres. You can go online to sfgiants.com starting 1 hour after the conclusion to tonight's game and type in the code GIANTSK to receive your discount. Bleacher seats start at $17, so let's hope he gets about 15 tonight.
Here's Utley. Right at 300 for the year for Chase Utley. And home plate umpire Tony Randazzo says, "Yeah, baby, that's a strike." Utley 0 for 4 last night. 0 for 3 on Tuesday. Inside corner strike, and it's 0-2. $15, is that what you said?
Well, I'm hoping.
Yeah, 15 would be good. 14 more to go as that ends the inning.
It's a rough at bat.
1-0 Giants.
Wow.
Second inning, 1-0 Giants. Juan Uribe to lead it off, followed by Travis Ishikawa and then Aaron Rowan. Strike one. 279 for Uribe with 9 home runs, 34 driven in. Foul back, and it's now 0-2.
Talk about how popular Uribe is in that Giants clubhouse. One of the things that he will do right before he goes out for the game, he'll go into the men's room and he'll get a bunch of cologne. He'll throw it all over his uniform, and then he'll go in the club dugout and he'll start hugging guys. And it definitely lights up the dugout.
Let's check out our Chevron unsurpassed performance last night in the 6th inning. Back-to-back home runs. Uribe hit the hanging breaking ball, and Rowan got this fastball and dug it out, and he hit it into the first row, second row, maybe third row. 4th time this season the Giants have gone back-to-back. That's our Chevron unsurpassed performance. Here's Ishikawa. Ishikawa takes high, hitting .258. He's never faced Martinez before. 9 home runs, 35 driven in. And Rowan to follow. Giants still 10 games under 500 on the road. Two balls and 1 strike. They're 19-15 against teams in the East. And of course, this is the last time they'll play the Phillies this year during the regular season. Ishikawa takes low and in, 3-1. Giants took 3 out of 4 from the Phillies in San Francisco. Ishikawa skies this one into center field for Victorino. 2 outs. And here's Rowan. You saw the home run that Rowan hit last night, his 13th. He's 3 for 8 in his career against Martinez, a double and a triple. Say this. Pedro Martinez is on the fast track. He gets that ball back and he is ready to go, although that pitch I believe he thought was a strike.
When there's nobody on base, you should work a quick pace. You make your defense better. You keep them on their toes. Your defense has better range. Everybody gets in rhythm with what you're doing out there on that hill when you're working quick. Now, when you get in your stretch, you might want to slow things down. That's fine. But with nobody on, work quick.
And it's 2-2.
One thing he's always been able to do, too, that's find an early rhythm. He's not one of those guys that is a slow starter. It takes 30, 40 pitches to get into a rhythm. He usually comes out, and he's pretty much into the same rhythm that you'll see him in the 5th inning. And you'll see that same rhythm in the 1st inning. And then that's always been a real positive strength of his.
Here's the 2-2. And he got him. Rowan takes a call third. It's 1-0. And Ryan Howard's going to lead things off. Well, here's the poll question. Log on to csnbarea.com to vote. You can check out the results. Esurance Giants postgame live. Who was the best pitcher in the 90s? Was it Martinez, Maddox, Glavine, Clemens, or Johnson? A very, very good question.
That is a good question. That's a tough one to answer.
Strike to Ryan Howard, who didn't think so, and it's no balls and one strike. We've seen a couple of the Phillies, Rollins and Victorino, go after Lincecum early. We'll keep an eye to see if that's their strategy tonight.
Well, the last couple of nights you haven't seen a whole lot of low strikes, and now Tony Randazzo let both benches know that there will be strikes down around the knees called.
You see that form?
Pickett.
My goodness.
That is not the first ground ball that she has caught.
Man.
All right, let's go. Check it out, Smooth.
Look at that rhythm into the little crow hop.
She got a bad hop, too.
Molina blocking, Howard swinging, one out. It looks like a young Chris Spire feeling that ball.
All right, let's take a look at the sequence. Just a knee-high strike for a quick 0-1, then bang, comes right back, same pitch, 0-2. And he kind of hangs a changeup up there. And he goes down the dirt with a breaking ball, and he gets Howard to chase. That's a rough at bat.
Here's Worth. Worth takes one in the dirt, 1-0.
Lincecum's working off a quick pace too. You know, we've noticed that about Lincecum. He will pick up the rhythm of the pitcher that he is pitching against.
Worth at 270. 29 home runs, 79 RBIs. 1 for 5 in the series, and he's just fallen behind 3-0 to Jason Worth. Right there, 3-1. Three and two.
Nice 3-1 location. Talk about taking away a guy's advantage in a 3-1 count. That's how you do it. You put knee-high paint, that outside corner.
High and deep and gone into the upper deck. So Worth ties it up with his 30th of the year.
It almost looked like he was sitting on it. He did not swing at the 3-1 fastball, and here just a lazy breaking ball that hangs up there at the belt. And Jason Worth can hit the ball as far as anybody, and this proves it.
There's a strike to Ibanez.
That was a bomb. It was just a matter of how far it was going to go, and a second decker in left field. Impressive.
It's the 9th home run that Lincecum has given up. It's 1-2 to Ibanez. Fouled off of Benji Molina.
You know, we saw him get a little lazy in the 0-2 count to Ryan Howard with a changeup, threw it up there at the belt, kind of got away with that one. And he just sort of tried to flop a curveball over there 3-2 after a couple of fastballs, and Jason Worth just got every bit of it.
Ibanez gone. Lincecum looked like he's a little ticked off.
Well, when you give him a home run like that, when you hang a pitch, you're mad at yourself. Because you know that the pitch selection was a good one. It's just that you didn't execute it. Here, just climbing up above the letters, and a guy who's been struggling goes out of his strike zone to chase, and you can see he's still thinking about that hanging curveball to Jason Worth.
Here's Phillies. First pitch strike to Phillies. Phillies on the ground, and Renteria's got it on the backhand, and that'll end the inning. The home run by Worth ties the game, and now we will head to the third. Well, Saturday, September 12th is the catcher style backpack, and it's presented by Challenge Butter. It'll go to the first 7,500 fans 14 and younger. Remember, it's a 6:05 start. Go to sfgiants.com or call 877-4-SFG-TIX. A 1-1 game. Martinez facing Lincecum, and it's 0-2.
You could definitely feel that both Martinez and Lincecum are into this game. And they are definitely playing for each other right now. This is going to be a good one.
And Lincecum out swinging on the high fastball.
Both pitchers have a good strike zone to work with.
Here's Velez. Velez has only seen one pitch from Martinez ever, and he hit a home run in the first inning. One ball and no strikes.
Now, back in the day when this Pedro Martinez broke in 1992, if you took him deep, you were going to go down your next at bat. He's led the league and hit batsmen a number of times. Nice little cutter on the back door. He'll use that a lot on the hands of left-handed hitters too, especially guys that have a little loop in their swing. It's good movement if you can control it at the belt.
Foul. Check out this swing and where it landed.
Get it in, knee-high fastball, but Eugenio got every bit of that one. That ball had to be crushed to get it out to that side of the park tonight.
2-2. Renteria watching from the on-deck circle, or close to the on-deck circle.
Pedro Martinez will do a lot of things out there to just try to get in the heads of a hitter. He'll create distraction.
Home run, strikeout. Round 2 goes to Martinez.
That was one out in the third inning. It's his 6th strikeout.
Here's Renteria.
2 outs in the third inning, I beg your pardon. Still striking at, you make 8 outs, you strike out 6 of them. That's remarkable for a guy like Martinez, who's 37. Getting close to 38. Say when he misses, he doesn't miss very far from the strike zone.
So a quick 3-0 to Edgar Renteria.
Guy can pitch. It's fun to watch. It's been fun to watch his whole career. And he kind of backed off of the image of the Intimidator about 12 years into his career. And nobody ever really bought that he would every once in a while just kind of lose a fastball and it would go up around somebody's dome. His command has just always been way too good. But always been able to repeat the stroke. The arm stroke always has been able to command up, down, in, out. A Hall of Famer. Plain and simple.
He strikes out the side. He's got 7. Well, check out Sportsnet Central tonight at 10:30, hosted by Damon Andrews and Jamie Sire. It'll be highlights of this game, a De La Salle preview, and the Raiders and Seahawks recap. So do that tonight at 10:30 right here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. A 1-1 tie here in the third inning is Carlos Ruiz will bat first. Ruiz, Martinez, and Rollins.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if Lincecum tries to match strikeouts with Pedro Martinez. And a lot of fastballs this first time through the Phillies lineup. Much more fastballs than we are accustomed to seeing him throw a first time through.
He tried to throw that high fastball by Ruiz, but Ruiz took it. Now it's 1-2. And he got him.
Giants Baseball is brought to you by Extract, from the creator of Office Space, in theaters September 4th. Extract. Check it out.
Here's Pedro Martinez. Martinez does have a hit this year, and he does have an RBI.
Not a bad hitter. Wow. He had the wow look, as if to say, where was that?
Yeah. Comes back. He had to throw it right down the middle of the plate. And it's fouled out of play as he threw it in the same spot. It's now 2-2.
Now here's the 1-0 pitch that Lincecum raised his eyebrows on. He thought that was a strike. But Randazzo's strike zone is a low ball strike zone. You're going to get more knee-high strikes than you are belt high.
How about get them both?
Well, those type of strike zones are few and far between. You usually get one or the other.
It's at the belt.
Hey, if you like strikeouts, this is the game for you.
Rollins bounced out in the first inning. And he takes a strike.
Well, the Phillies, I'm convinced that they've been looking for off-speed stuff. They've taken a lot of fastballs.
Rowan watches this one sail over his head. Rollins is going to stop at second. So a two-out double.
I think that ball may have fooled Aaron Rowan a bit. It kind of took off on him. He had a little bit of an arc in his route to the ball. Backspin for a guy not tall in stature, but strong. Jimmy Rollins could put a charge into the ball. This ball just takes off. Rowan can do nothing but just chase it down in a two-out double.
Here's Victorino. Victorino takes a strike. He popped out to left field in his only other at bat.
Now, you were talking about Chase Utley last night as to how close to the plate he gets. And you could add Shane Victorino to that list. You can see his toes touching the chalk of the batter's box towards home plate.
And that'll be a 4-3 putout to end the inning. A double by Rollins. He's stranded. It'll be Sandoval, Molina, and Wynn coming up.
All right, time to ask our Aflac trivia question. The question tonight: can you name the only two San Francisco Giants to pitch a complete game shutout in their debut with the team? Only two San Francisco Giants. There's the fanatic.
That's a workout.
Crowd walking.
I remember you used to have that workout.
I did.
Up the middle, knocked down by Martinez. Sandoval retired.
Sandoval told, do not run harder than 50 or 60%. That calf injury he has in his right calf is sore, and they're worried about him pulling that thing if he goes all out on it.
Breaking ball for a strike. Molina struck out in the first after Sandoval had doubled. Fouls this one out of play.
Brad Penny, 8 shutout innings last night. Today, taking on the stairs here at Citizens Bank Park. It's a great workout.
On the ground to short. And Jimmy Rollins will take his time. 2 outs. And here's Randy Wynn. Randy Wynn struck out swinging in the first. Both teams with a solo home run. Velez in the first, Worth in the second. One ball and no strikes.
Yep, he's feeling it. Well, they got halfway into it. Mom called him for dinner.
1-0 to Randy Wynn. A bit high. That's that belt tie fastball that Randazzo is not going to call for a strike.
See the distribution of outs. There just haven't been that many plays for the field. 3 ground outs, 1 fly out, 7 strikeouts, and he struck out 7 of the first 9 outs that he got.
On the ground to Rollins. And that ends the inning. So 3 ground balls. And it'll be the big fellas coming up.
All right, time now to ask and we're going to answer our Aflac trivia question. The question tonight: can you name the only 2 San Francisco Giants to pitch a complete game shutout in their debut with the team? Our survey said, well, Juan Marichal did it in 1960. He did it against the Phillies, and then Mike Reminger did it in 1991 against the Pirates.
And we were there.
Yes, we were.
It'll be Utley, Howard, and Worth in a 1-1 game here in the bottom of the 4th. Utley saw 3 pitches and struck out looking in the first. I'm assuming he has a different game plan second time around.
Another guy running top of the plate. Guy gets on top of the plate like that. Guy, what pitch do you look for?
They're looking for a fastball in.
Well, that's where if you have 2 types of fastball, you can take advantage of that. You can throw a four-seam fastball off the plate inside and come back the same location with a 2-seam and let that movement come across the inside corner. It's an effective way to pitch to guys that look in.
Three 3-0 to Utley with Howard and then Worth. And he pours in a strike. 3-1. Pulls it foul. 3-2. Phillies come into the game tonight. They've got a 7.5 game lead on the Atlanta Braves in the National League East.
Saw the two-seam grip that Lincecum will put on the ball as he awaits his sign. He'll throw that two-seam fastball. When he throws his, what he calls his changeup, it's actually a split finger fastball. He'll take that two-seam grip and he'll just split the fingers. Keeps a real nice light grip on the ball. It's one thing you do not want to ever do, and that's grip that ball too tight. Keep a nice loose grip on it.
And again, Utley spoils a good changeup. He spoiled back-to-back good ones. And it stays 3-2. It may be that Utley has taken a little bit out of his swing. Got him.
Another changeup, and you cannot throw a better one than that. And 2 times Chase Utley has been sent back packing. Second strikeout. And just an incredible changeup that's set up with just identical arm action that he has on the fastball. And that's what is so deceptive about that changeup. Location was perfect as well.
Here's Howard. Howard struck out in the second. No balls and 1 strike.
And that's basically what happens. It becomes a guessing game. And it's hard to do it against a guy like Lincecum or a guy like Pedro Martinez. They have so many things they could do with the ball.
The overshift is on. Uribe's in shallow right field. Sandoval's at third. One ball and 1 strike. 1-2.
I like that idea though, going back to back with that inside fastball. That was a good pitch. Now you can go right back in there again. Elevate it just a little bit above the hands, or you could throw a changeup or something. Yeah, break a ball in the dirt. A lot of options because of that fastball in.
Or that.
Comes back with a changeup and a swing through. See ya. Strikeout number 6.
I got 7.
Strikeout number 7. I like your number better.
Well, I just don't want to shortchange Giants fans on tickets.
I think they appreciate that. There you see the classic motion of Tim Lincecum, which is probably one of the more talked about motions in the game. The same exact distribution about to Pedro Martinez. 3 ground balls, a fly out, and 7 strikeouts.
Well, you're going to see a spirited performance on the mound right here.
He's trying to strike him out, plain and simple.
Worth goes second deck. And that did not go unnoticed by that guy.
Yeah, see that little chip on his shoulder?
One and 2. This was the home run. Watch the hanging breaking ball.
Well, it was a 3-2 count. It was a get it in pitch. And that one just laid right up there on a tee. And if you're going to give up a home run, give up a good one. And that was a good one.
Up the middle for Renteria. Side retired. Through 4 innings, it's been the Martinez-Lincecum show.
Well, we talked about how much alike Lincecum and Martinez. How about the numbers? Identical through 4 innings. Even pitches thrown. 4 innings, 2 hits, 1 run. 7 strikeouts. And the distribution of outs is the same. 3 ground balls, 1 fly out, 7 strikeouts.
High down the right field line. Looks like Worth has got room, and he'll make the catch.
Timer.
Yeah. Good call.
Well, he knows this ballpark and knew how much room he had. Just went over there and kissed the wall just to say hello.
Here's Ishikawa. Ishikawa hit a fly ball to center field in the second. Right there for a strike. Little pop-up. Utley calling. 2 outs.
Good fastball. Get in there tight and jam Ishikawa. Well, hey, check out your calendar. Sunday, September 13th. Well, it's a rivalry day, so that means the Giants are going to have a rivalry series cap, and it's presented by Bank of America to the first 20,000 fans. Dodgers, September 13th, rivalry cap day. Tickets, go to sfgiants.com or call 1-877-4-SFG-TICKS.
Rowan struck out looking in the second. He lines it into left field, a base hit. And if anything, it brings Lincecum up here in the 5th with 2 outs. Lincecum struck out in the 3rd inning. But we've seen Lincecum handle the bat. Usually puts the ball in play. However, it doesn't look like he's picking up Martinez very well at all. Outside. Saw an at bat last night by Brad Penny. I don't remember how many it was, 8 or 9 pitches. Really helped the game along for the Giants. Added to the pitch total of Jay Happ, as there's a strike.
That was an important part of the game. You're right.
I think it was Andres Torres, the next hitter, who got the base hit. And it gave the Giants a 1-0 lead. Very high, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, one thing nice about being a pitcher is you don't have to look pretty in your swing. You can get up there and almost play pepper with the pitcher. Just let him supply the power. Just try and put a bad hit on the ball.
Out of play.
And if you foul off 4 or 5 and you have a 9 or 10 pitch at bat, that's as good as a hit.
That's a win.
There's Brad Penny. There's the line that he had last night. Outstanding. 8 innings, just 6 base runners. 5 hits, no runs allowed, a couple of strikeouts, 102 pitches. Very, very good, solid outing. And you talk about opening up the eyes of not just the Giants clubhouse, but I have to say all of baseball took notice of that start.
And Lincecum strikes out to end the inning. It remains 1-1. Well, back here at Citizens Bank Park, where it's a 1-1 ball game. And it'll be Ibanez, Phillies, and Ruiz. A run on 3 hits for the Giants, a run on 2 hits for the Phillies. Ibanez struck out in the second. Banya's with an unbelievable start to his Phillies career, but since the All-Star break has cooled off.
He had a real bad hamstring pull, put him on the disabled list, and when he's come off, he's never been able to get that swing back that he had early in the year. I mean, his numbers early in the year were very Albert Pujols-like. And there was talk in Philadelphia here that he was making a strong run at the MVP in this league. That's how good he was. There you see, since the break, 212. Nowhere near the production that he had the first half.
Comes back on the inside corner, 2-2. Got him. All right, let's check out it's time to bring you up to speed with AT&T Rapid Rewind. My partner Mike Krukow with the Phillies in 1982, 13-11 record, a 3.12 ERA. He pitched 208 innings and he had 7 complete games. He does look mighty odd in that uniform, I got to tell you, but his stuff still looks the same. Mighty fine season for Mike Krukow with the Phillies. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Nice going, partner.
Wow. Where'd you get that footage?
Yeah, well, got it hanging around. I get footage that you don't want to see.
I bet you do.
Before he was a Giant with the Phillies that year, 33 starts. Was traded over to the Giants in December of '82 as Phillies breaks his bat and Sandoval across the diamond, 2 outs.
A strong throw from Pablo Sandoval. Well, I enjoy playing here in Philadelphia. This is really a good sports town, and plus I got a chance to play with some really good people over here, and 3 Hall of Famers. Well, 2 Hall of Famers, one that should be in the Hall, Pete Rose, Mike Schmidt, Steve Carlson. But what a great experience it was to play here on the East Coast. However, getting traded to San Francisco, definitely the best thing that ever happened to me.
Here's Carlos Ruiz, who struck out looking. First pitch down low.
So Tom Haller, wherever you may be, thanks for bringing me here.
Hatch could trade for broadcasters with the best of them.
Yes, he could.
Fouled at the plate. It's a ball and a strike. More so me than you. You can strap on a 20-game winner. I can strap on 11 pitch hits in 1982. Down low, 2 balls and 1 strike.
So how do you apologize for a 10-year career where you hit lifetime 275?
No, I was just comparing the deal that brought a broadcaster over here and a 20-game winner.
But okay, thanks for bringing that up.
3-1 to Ruiz.
4 times you led the American League in fielding percentage?
No, I don't think so. Couple maybe. Too many people can check the internet now. I can't lie. And the walk to Ruiz, the first one that Lincecum is issued.
First one of the game tonight.
And here's Pedro Martinez. Martinez struck out in the 3rd. One and 0. Benji Molina motioning out to Lincecum. Might have had the stay back motion.
Fastball away.
Fastball fouled away.
See a catcher move his forefinger. It's a fastball in to a right-handed hitter. The little finger, fastball away. And you do that so you don't have to show location after you've given a sign. guys give a 1 and then they tap a leg to give the location. Well, that can be picked up. There, that's a fastball away, and that can't be picked up.
Renteria right near the bag. He will step on the bag, and that will end the inning. 6th inning, top of the order coming up. All right, time now to Subway Eat Fresh. Ask Kruk and Kipe. This is Gary from Vancouver. How many pounds of sunflower seeds has Mike Murphy consumed over the last 50 years? I don't think Murph has been chewing on sunflower seeds that long. He was a tobacco guy for a long time.
Yeah. Well, if you put all the wads of tobacco together that he's chewed over the last 50 years,
and then add the sunflower seeds, you'd have quite a mess.
Yeah, you could make Alcatraz out of it.
We were laughing so hard. Half of the weenies that the Fanatic shot out of this thing lost its wrappers, and the only thing spiraling into the seats were the actual weenie itself.
And then it became dodgeball for people in the stands.
Wrappers down the right field line. It just, it was hysterical. Look at that.
Yep. They need to work on that.
Here's Velez, who takes a strike. That machine is too powerful.
It is.
You just strip the wrappers right off.
It's funny, though.
And a drive to right. This one's hit well again and off the top of the wall. And Velez has got a leadoff double.
Well, it's official right now. Pedro Martinez is saying, who's that guy? A fellow countryman, both Martinez and Eugenio Velez from the Dominican Republic. Little breaking ball, just sort of lays out there knee high, pretty close to the same location that Velez hit his home run off of. The first pitch of the game was a fastball in the same location. This one a little slider, a little cutter. And he was very close to knocking that one out of here as well.
Well, now it's up to Renteria to get Velez to third. On the ground to short. That is not going to do it. And Renteria is going to be very unhappy about that as bad, and you can see it.
Well, he knows better, and you talk about a guy who's got one of the better opposite field approaches in all of baseball. I mean, how many times this year have we seen Renteria go to right field? So that's a long stroll back to the Giants dugout, and a disappointing at bat. But it can all be forgotten right here if Pablo Sandoval can pick him up.
Well, the Giants were talking about the Phillies in the game last night, not really doing a good job of holding on runners at second. Well, if they don't do it here, Velez could go. Sandoval doubled in the first, bounced out in the fourth. Now a pickoff play is put on, and Velez just got back.
Got to be on your toes. Pedro Martinez, very good at pickoffs. Just a good athlete, and he's not a big guy. He's very quick and throws to first and second, and he's not afraid to put the pickoff plays on either. That's another plus.
Sandoval swinging underwater.
That's about as bad a swing as you'll see him take.
No balls and one strike. See if Martinez goes back up there again. I don't know about that one. It's 0-2.
One thing about Pedro Martinez, though, I mean, as quick as he is on pickups, he will give you a chance to steal. That's a real high leg kick, and his unload time is a little bit slower than norm. He's right around 1.3, 1.35 seconds. And there's his slide step, and that's right at 1 second.
Ball steps out. Benji Molina to follow. Martinez now very deliberate. He sets at the chin. In the dirt, almost as if he's trying to freeze Sandoval at the plate.
He's doing a great job of holding him close. Carlos Ruiz, the catcher for the Phillies, making a nice play to stop that one hopper.
Two and two. Slowly hit, and it kicks foul. We are in the 6th inning. Getaway night here in Philadelphia in the rubber match of this 3-game series. Giants have already won the season series. But right now, folks, that's not good enough.
No, you're at a point of the season where every game is the biggest game of the season. Early in the season, you concern yourself about win series, and now it's win every day. And that's what's exciting about September baseball.
Hit on the ground to second. Utley will make the play. On the play, Velez moves to third.
Yeah, that's the at bat that you wanted from Edgar Renteria.
So here's big money. Molina is struck out and he's bounced out. And he takes a pitch high, 1-0. A 2-out base hit or a mistake by the Phillies. Giants trying to get on the board here in the 6th. 1-0 to Molina. Molina look back at Randazzo. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, that's the kind of a pitch that upsets a hitter, because the first pitch of the at bat was in the identical same place, called a ball. Now he comes back, throws the same fastball away, calls a strike. So nobody knows what the strike zone is. Identical pitch, called a strike one time, a ball the next time.
Smoked to center field. Victorino puts it away. It remains 1-1.
Welcome back to the Coors Light 6th inning. Now it's time for the Coors Light Freeze Cam, and for that we go back to the 2nd inning with nobody on and 2 outs. Pedro Feliz hits a bullet to the backhand of Edgar Renteria, who goes over and picks it up, and that's your Freeze Cam. Your Coors Light Freeze Cam, brought to you by Frost Brewed. Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Top of the order for the Phillies.
A good old-fashioned pitching duel, which is what this series has been all about. 1-0 game in game 1, 4-0 game last night. And here we are, knotted up 1 apiece. Bottom of the 6th.
Rollins takes a strike. He doubled over the head of Aaron Rowan in the 3rd. Sandoval is in on the grass at 3rd. Everybody else at their normal spot, pretty much straight away in the outfield for Jimmy Rollins. 2 balls and 1 strike.
It is a guessing game right now. You get good hitters in the Phillies dugout. They're trying to figure out Tim Lincecum, guess along with him.
Hit deep into right center field. Rowan is gonna put it away. Wow.
This ballpark is playing so dramatically different than what we've seen the last couple of years. And keep in mind, when the Giants were here in the last several years, they've come earlier in the year when it's been hot. Here it has cooled off. The wind has come from out of right center, and that is exactly what kept this ball in the ballpark. And Tim Lincecum cannot believe his good fortune. Off the crack of the bat, we all thought it was a 1-run lead for the Phillies.
Because it was hit so high, it almost looked like the wind was pushing it away from 398.
I think they're talking about that.
Ishikawa will take it himself. 2 outs.
Lincecum almost forgot the cover. I mean, for the Phillies who play this ballpark all year long, I mean, they're used to seeing that ball in the bullpens. That's a home run. But one thing Aaron Rowan pointed out is that when it starts to cool off here in September and October, this ballpark plays a lot different than it does early in the year. Early in the year, it's a small yard. Late in the year, it's a big yard. And that's an example of it.
Utley with a couple of strikeouts. And a strike. Utley now lifetime against Lincecum is 2 for 17. Ooh. So Utley gets hit on the shoulder.
And they want the fastball inside. And that's going to happen to you when you get on top of the plate like Chase Utley does. Guy pulls that, and you know the guy hits that ball inside. You're trying to really shave that inside corner. And you say to yourself, if I'm going to miss, I'm going to miss in. Well, that one missed right into him.
Utley with 17 steals. He might go.
I would be surprised if he didn't go. 17 steals. He has not been thrown out all year.
And a strike to Howard.
The league knows that Lincecum is below average in his ability to hold runners on closely at first and second.
Utley leaning, does not go, and Howard hammers it. And Randy Wynn is going to watch it sail by him. Utley's going to score, and it's 2-1.
Well, Ryan Howard was the player of the month of August. He was absolutely on fire the last 3 weeks. Here, the big RBI guy takes advantage of the fastball up and finds a gap. And with the speed of Utley going on contact with 2 outs, an easy score.
So here's Worth. Worth is homered and he's bounced out.
And he's had good swings against Lincecum. And the guy on deck has not.
And a bit high, 1-0.
This is when you really have to be careful if you're Lincecum. Guy who sees you well in that batter's box. You got an open base at first. .1-0 fastball. Worth looking for it. Had both feet underneath that swing. Ooh.
Down low, 2 balls and 1 strike. out of play. 2-2.
Yeah, made a nice play.
And Worth out swinging to end the inning. Phillies take the lead. Let's go to our Sportsnet Central studio for this Sports Flash. The Phillies, 7th inning. And Randy Winn, followed by Juan Uribe and Travis Ishikawa against Pedro Martinez, who's now pitching with the lead. And the first pitch to Randy Winn is foul back, and it's 0-1. Randy Winn is struck out and he's bounced out. And the 0-1 delivery. Just inside to even the count.
That was not a purpose pitch. Not that he isn't the type of pitcher that will even a score, but you're not going to even a score in a changeup.
Breaking ball, and it's lined at Utley. 1 out.
Well, Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area is the official television home of the San Francisco 49ers, and every Wednesday Dave Benz is going to break down training camp action. He'll preview the season on 49ers Central starting September 13th. 49ers postgame live immediately after every game with Gary Radnich and former Mayor Willie Brown. And starting September 14th will be Coach Mike Singletary's press conference, and you'll have that every Monday. You'll see it all right here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. It is that time of year.
Uribe hammers one into left center field, and it's going to shoot right by Victorino. And Uribe is going to put on the brakes.
Like he almost rolled an ankle there. I get excited about that. That's one guy the Giants can't lose is Juan Uribe. Little changeup right over the plate, and here's where you take advantage of fast gaps. A good example of short cut grass out there, and watch his ankle right here. Seems to be all right.
Now the Giants will get somebody up in the bullpen in case Lincecum's spot will come up here in the 7th.
Giants looking for that one base hit with runners in scoring position.
Ishikawa fouls it out of play.
They've set the table against Martinez. They had an opportunity in the 1st and an opportunity in the 6th, and now here in the 7th. Runners in scoring position.
Well, right now they're 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. And it's 0-2. A lot of what Ishikawa does in this at bat may determine whether Lincecum stays in the game or not. One and 2 to Travis Ishikawa. He got him.
Well, now with Rowan coming up, probably a walk situation here, and that kind of would force Bruce Bochy's hand to take Lincecum out of the game.
Well, Nate Schurlitz is on deck, so see if Charlie Manuel's buying it.
Bruce Bochy would like to keep Lincecum in the game, but he'd also like to get Aaron Rowan some pitches.
Rowan singled in the 5th. 1 ball and no strikes.
Yeah, Pedro Martinez knows the deal. He knows has an open base.
Squibs this one off the end of the bat to Rollins, and that ends the inning. Giants now 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position. It remains 2-1.
Giants baseball is brought to you by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey. Please drink responsibly, and by Comcast HD, with more HD than anyone, period.
It's a 2-1 lead for the Phillies, bottom of the 7th. Lincecum facing Ibanez, and Ibanez takes a strike. Ibanez, he has struck out twice. Lincecum has 9 in the game. And it's 0-2. Feliz to follow, and then Carlos Ruiz. And that's pulled foul past Davey Lopes.
A little bit too much height on that changeup. You saw Benji Molina on the 0-2 count after he gave the sign. Put his glove up and started patting the ground. He wanted that ball down low. Ryan Madsen now starts to get up for the Phillies. He's their setup man.
And Ibanez chases a pitch in the dirt.
Well, that's strikeout number 10 for Tim Lincecum, and it is a K-zone night. That means for every strikeout recorded by Lincecum, the Giants, you will receive $1 off any bleacher ticket for Lincecum's next start on Tuesday, September 8th, when he takes on the Padres. You can go online to sfgiants.com starting 1 hour after the conclusion to tonight's game, and you can type in the code GIANTSK to receive your discount. The bleacher seats, they start at $17 before the offer, so right now they're going for $7.
Here's Feliz. He's bounced out twice, and he skies this one into shallow left field for Renteria. 2 outs. And that'll bring up Ruiz. The difference right now in the game, Utley after 2 outs is hit by a pitch, and Howard doubled it home. Just outside to Ruiz.
Next pitch for Lincecum will be number 90.
Hook fair down the left field line. And Martinez is going to be pulled back. It's a double for Ruiz. And we'll see who Charlie Manuel sends out. It's going to be Matt Stairs.
Well, Matt Stairs is in one of the worst slumps of his career. He's hitless in his last 27 at bats. And in that time, his batting average went from 283 down to 195.
Well, when you're getting at bats like that has to be what, 3 months?
That's from day out.
Doesn't say when his last hit was, does it?
But that doesn't change how you're going to pitch against Matt Stairs. Matt Stairs goes up there and he says quite openly, I try to hit every pitch I get out of the ballpark. That's my job. The night is over for Pedro Martinez. Outstanding evening. 5 hits allowed in 7 innings, 1 earned run. The first pitch of the game, a home run to Eugenio Velez. No walks, 9 strikeouts.
Stairs takes low. Low again, 2-0.
He is going to look for a fastball right here, and he will let the fur fly. Lincecum stayed away from the heater. Dropped a 2-0 curveball on him, and this is some fur. We could feel the breeze all the way up here. As I mentioned, that is not a try to throw a soft single to left field swing. That is trying to hit it in the upper deck.
Well, he'll probably try to do it here as well. It's not likely Stairs went up there looking for a walk. Ruiz at second. And it's now 3-2.
Now, when you throw a curveball like he did 2-0 and you had a guy swing through it, you think you could throw it again.
He got him. And he did. And that ends the inning. Here comes the 8th inning. It's 2-1 Phillies. All right, here's our McDonald's game summary. A 2-1 lead for the Phillies here in the 8th. Lincecum 7 innings, 11 strikeouts. Velez has a homer and a double. Martinez 7 innings, 9 strikeouts, no walks. And he allowed the 1 run, the home run by Velez. Worth hit a solo home run in the 2nd, and Howard's got the game leading RBI double in the 6th. That's our McDonald's game summary. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts. And the pitcher, the new pitcher, is Ryan Matson.
Great numbers for Matson, averaging a strikeout an inning. He'll go mid-90s with a fastball and has one of the better changeups in the game, and it is really a good one.
Nate Scherholtz on the first pitch, 1 out. And that'll bring up Velez. Velez homered in the 1st, struck out in the 3rd, doubled in the 6th. Pitch is a little low to Velez.
Matson will throw breaking balls, but I mean, if you're in that batter's box, until there's 2 strikes, you're thinking about one way or the other, changeup or fastball. That's how good his changeup is. Matson really had a great year for the Phils last year, and he was a big reason as to why they were the world champs. Originally came up in the pin, then they threw him in the rotation for a while. Kind of lost his fastball, then he put it back in the pin, got it back. And that's the changeup we're talking about. It is legit. Circle changeup, little movement that runs away from a left-handed hitter.
Missed with that one. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
The breaking ball he throws really is kind of more of a cutter. It's not a big slider, but it's effective because he can plant it in on the hands of lefties and jam you with it. 2-seam grip.
And he got him.
Well, Giants fans, if you can't get tickets or you think you can't, think again. You can go right now to StubHub.com and get those hard-to-get premium tickets, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Giants. StubHub's lineup of services makes it easy to score great seats to any game. Get your tickets right now on StubHub.com.
Renteria hitless in 3 trips. And a strike. A cool 97.
He's got a good fastball. And there for a while it disappeared. He was down there high 80s. And then all of a sudden, whoop. Hard work, therapy, got it back.
It was a 2-out run for the Phillies in the 6th. The Giants will try to do that here in the 8th with 2 outs. Big chopper. Rollins will cut it off. Inning over. It remains 2-1 Phillies. Well, Chronicle Live presented by Autotrader.com. Special time tonight after Esurance. Giants postgame live hosted by Greg Papa. Tonight, Tom Fitzgerald of the San Francisco Chronicle and a couple of writers from CSNBayArea.com and Killian and Michelle Smith. And also Matt Steinmetz, the Warriors analyst for Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. They will all join Greg Papa. Two to 1 Phillies. Giants have 3 more outs in this game. They'd like to keep it at 2-1. It's going to be up to that man, Sergio Romo.
There you see his year. 34th time he's taken the ball. 29 strikeouts in 25 innings. 33 base runners. And he will face the top of the Phillies lineup. This will be a good test for Sergio Romo.
Rollins takes a first pitch breaking ball in for a strike.
Just missed with the fastball. Romo is one of those rare guys that can locate his curveball like most guys locate their fastball. He can pitch in and out. He can pitch up and down. I mean, he's got nice creativity with that breaking ball.
Romo thought he might have had a strike. It's 2-1. Foul back. 2-2 for the Giants in the bottom of the 9th. They'll be facing closer Brad Lidge. It'll be Sandoval, Molina, and Wynn. And there's the Phillies closer, Brad Lidge. Rollins gone. A 1 out.
Nice curveball for the payout pitch. I mean, this has been a night for strikeouts between Lincecum and Romo. Now 12 strikeouts between Lincecum and Pedro Martinez. 20 strikeouts between the two. 9 for Martinez, 11 for Lincecum.
Victorino went back to his other helmet. No hits in that one. It's 1 ball and no strikes.
I don't think that new helmet has a chance.
That pop-up is straight back and out of play. The minor leaguers have to use it, I believe, starting next year. And at some point, it'll be used in the major leagues, and it'll be mandatory. But it may not be for another 15 years if they grandfather everybody else in.
Would you wear it?
I would wear it, but I'd change helmets when I got on the bases. Check swing roller. It'll be Romo to Ishikawa, 2 outs. And it would just be another way of slowing down the game.
Yeah, that's true.
Or you leave the box, and what do? You knock it off. Gary Matthews did it his whole career.
His whole career.
Utley hadn't done much, but then hit by a pitch, and he scores the lead run. And he takes a strike from Romo.
Yeah, the guys were talking on the bus about what it means to pitch in September and about how much fun it is to make a contribution to a win if you get an out or pitch an inning, get a hit, do anything that gives your team a win. It's the greatest thing about September and October baseball. Even like a night like Chase Utley, who hasn't done much up to this point,
Yeah,
but get drilled and score the go-ahead run.
hasn't done much in the series. Utley goes the other way. Velez will make the catch, a little unorthodox, but he puts it away, and we will go to the 9th. Sandoval, Molina, and win. It's 2-1 Phillies.
He's exciting.
I'm not sure. Well, tomorrow we'll be in Milwaukee, so join us right here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Pre-game live will start at 4:30. First pitch should be right around 5. Giants and the Brewers, game 1 of that 3-game series. Brewers won today as they beat the Cardinals 4-3.
Now let's take a look at the catch that Eugenio Velez made to end the inning. It's kind of a flop and grab, and had to kind of come back on it. The wind playing havoc, and he stayed with it. Good wrestling match there with Sergio Romo appreciating it. So a big 0 for night for Chase Utley.
Here's Lidge as the Panda is coming up.
There you see the numbers. The big one is 9 blow and save opportunities, and he had saved his first 51 opportunities as a Phil. It didn't blow in the entire all of last year. This year, however, it's been a different deal, and you can see it reflected in his ERA. A fastball that'll go low to mid-90s and a good hard slider. And the thing about his slider is it got an unusual break. It's a straight down biter, and it's a strikeout slider. It's a good one.
Sandoval fouls it at the plate. He doubled in the first. Overall tonight, he's bounced out twice. He's 1 for 3. Still hanging around that 330 mark. Giants will break out the pinch runners if Sandoval reaches, and that pitch is wide, 2-1. This is September, and they got a lot of them waiting. Two balls and 1 strike.
Oh, he had a good one to hit. That one had a little elevation to it. And that one hurt Carlos Ruiz, the catcher for the Phillies. Got him right on the chin of the mask, and that's about the second one he's taken on the mask tonight.
Two and two to Sandoval. Trying to reach here in the ninth. Trying to hit one in the seats here in the ninth. And he gets him on a pitch in the dirt. One out. Benji Molina is struck out. He's bounced out, and then he lined out to Victorino in the sixth. 0 for 3 lifetime against Brad Lidge. Andres Torres has got a helmet on, and he's at the top step of the dugout.
That last fastball at 95, they're just painting that outside corner. They know this ballpark's playing a little different. Hard to hit the ball out to right field tonight, and they're taking advantage of that, pounding them away.
Two balls and one strike. Outside, 3-1.
So now he should get a little bit of something to hit right here.
See where Ruiz sets up. It should be away. And he's popped up. Two out. So Benji Molina 0 for 4, and here's Randy Winn. One for 5 in his career against Lidge. And Randy Winn goes around. It's 0-1. Giants would love to get Uribe a crack at Lidge here in the ninth. And it's a quick 0-2.
Again, paint 95, knee high, outside corner.
On the ground, Utley can't get it, and the Giants' hopes are still alive.
Oh, nice at bat, and that was not an 0-2 mistake either. The amount of spin and downward bite that his slider has, it gets heavy. And Randy Winn with a real nice 0-2 approach, just getting short, trying to put it in play, finds a hole, and Uribe will have a chance to hit. And the reaction from Brad Lidge. And you know, there is doubt in your mind. I mean, you can't have 9 blown saves without hearing voices. And very quickly, Ruiz out there to try and calm those voices down. But the guy who's hit the ball well in this series, and the guy the Giants would love to have in this situation, is stepping in the box right now.
And he may run into one. I mean, that's just the way it is with Uribe. Phillies playing now deep in the outfield to try to cut off the gaps. In the dirt, Randy Wynn started to go, but put on the brakes.
Phillies playing deep in the outfield, trying to protect the gaps. Right almost to the warning track.
Wynn goes, pitches high. He steals it easily.
Wow. And that's a big play. Big high leg kick. 1.43 seconds for Lidge unload time, and it creates an opportunity for Randy Wynn. And this is a big play, because now you don't need an extra base hit to score a win. With 2 outs, a base hit scores him.
And now the outfielders come in. Two and 0 to Uribe. If this is close, he's going to be hacking. And he fouls it straight back.
Had a good pitch to hit.
No swing.
That was close. Hard to check on that slider. Let's see, did he check? Close.
I'd be shocked if they gave him anything to hit here.
I think he's going to throw the slider down. Just like that. I agree with you.
And Ishikawa's coming back. It's going to be Fred Lewis.
And all the Phillies going to come in. This is something you don't often see, where everybody comes in to talk to a pitcher and there's no coach out there. And it just tells you what 9 blown saves can do to a guy's head, and everybody out there feeling it, trying to pump him up.
Well, the pitching coach felt like he got left out.
Yeah, well, here comes Rich Doobie. Charlie Manuel finally said, "Hey, Rich, go see what they're talking about, will you?"
Yeah, see if they're talking about us. Are you guys talking about us? No, we're trying to figure out how to get Fred Lewis out. The final this afternoon, the Mets won the final game of that 3-game series by an 8-3 score. Former Giant Pat Mish with his first major league win. So here's Lewis. Lewis has faced Lidge 4 times. He's 1 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts. So if you're Fred Lewis, it comes down to your at bat. And you take a belt high strike, and it's 0-1.
Well, 2 belt high strikes. We haven't seen the belt high strike called a lot tonight. And just like that, that puts Lewis in a hole. And with Brad Lidge, that means you're going to have to dig something out of the dirt. When he gets ahead, he 0-2-1-2. He pounds that plate with that slider.
Randy Wynn took off. He's at third.
Well, that's another good play. I mean, with Lidge's reputation for throwing sliders in the dirt. That's not an easy pitch to block. The pressure's on Carlos Ruiz big time here.
Grounder. Utley will tag Uribe, and that's the ball game. So game 3 goes to the Philadelphia Phillies, and they take the series, and tonight they beat the Giants by a final of 2-1. As Tim Lincecum will get the loss and Pedro Martinez will get the win. Join us on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area tomorrow afternoon as the Giants road trip continues. We'll be in Milwaukee to take on the Brewers. Game 1 of the series, Giants pregame live, will start at 4:30. Stay tuned. Esurance Giants postgame live starts right now.